call the,
Hold on one sec.
sorry,
Okay, Bo's ready. I just gotta make sure we're on.
you're correct. You wanna be on?
Bo will tell us when we start getting folks screaming, texting us. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and go.
Alright, we got the green light. Alrighty, I call the meeting, Planning and Zoning Board meeting to order. Will the city please provide roll call?
I will. Ms. Mullins,
Here.
Mr. Gay,
Here.
Chairman Zizer,
Present.
Mr. Hart is not in attendance, and Dr. Robbins.
Here.
Alright, let's go ahead and stand for the pledge of allegiance. We don't have an invocation. Do we want to do the invocation, sir?
I think we're good either way. We know we did put it on the agenda. Let's just go ahead and do the pledge.
Alright. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Bo, I want to insert prerogative. Will you please guide us in the invocation, sir? Sure. Thank you, sir.
Give Bo a second to come up to the mic.
Well, you could have shouted, but it's
Can't hear me from back there. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this day that you've given us, Lord. I ask that you bless us tonight. Lord, I ask that you give us wisdom in any decisions that are made tonight. Lord, I ask that you help us to do the will of our citizens in this great town we live in. Lord, I thank you so much for the freedoms that we have. Lord, I thank you for all that you bless us with. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
The residents make their decisions, I like that.
Or in my case, he was into admit you're dumb. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. We make an insert. Do we have public comments today?
No one is registered and no one is indicating they wish to make public comments.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty, I will today, right now, actually this moment, of course today, because you're all sitting here looking at each other, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from October 15th.
I say approved, right?
You say, I would like to make a motion.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Mullins. The chair seeks a second.
I did not see the minutes from the 15th. Have they been posted?
They were posted this morning, and so we can run a copy if you'd like.
I'd like that
Okay.
because I did not see them. I looked for them several times today and the PDF didn't download.
Sure, that's sometimes that's a problem. Let me just give me
Yeah.
about a couple minutes. I
Thank
can
you.
run a copy
No
of it.
problem. Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah, did you get them ever?
I go like this,
Yeah.
rubber stamp, I don't care. Minutes are minutes.
There's a little thing that you can click to refresh, and sometimes that will help.
Yeah.
That's what it is at my work computer. I have to refresh it about every 5 minutes to keep it updated. Usually I end up just writing everything out and just
I
driving.
tend to turn my computer off when I'm not using it, so refreshing, it's refreshed every time I turn it back on.
I don't know why it does that though, but
Yeah.
we run into that a lot, that if you hit the refresh, it'll come up.
It may come,
Possibly.
yeah.
Blue and white checkerboard always been there.
I think they did it somewhat recently.
I don't remember that.
I think it's pretty recent.
The floor looks good.
Okay, the first 2 months anyway. Hey Janice, we're just rolling from this into a workshop, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
Shouldn't take long. We keep our minutes short and sweet. We don't go verbatim.
This is the, our agenda for today. It's not the minutes. Thank you, though.
Sorry about that.
That was a test.
I clicked on the agenda and failed to click on the,
That was a test and you passed.
Did I?
very quick.
This one right here?
The one that I have? He was bringing us the minutes, and I'm looking at the
I was
agenda.
out in the field this
Yes.
morning.
Really?
Yeah,
So you have
the
the
break
date up here.
so mostly my crew goes up in the field and I stay in the office, but if I need to go out in the field,
So this is the minutes?
Yes, they don't do them verbatim.
Okay. That's a
The
good
minutes
thing.
just have to be the motions and the actions.
I can't hear you.
The minutes really are just the actions, the motions and what the vote is.
Okay.
not like every word said, but just the actions.
And that's why if you look at our agendas, it always talks about that if somebody would wanna say verbatim, they need to bring their own court reporters. It's not just, that's statewide, you know, because minutes are just, that's the only thing that's required. We have because we have the audio and the visual, we have the recordings too. But if you want a verbatim because for court purposes, you need that the applicant or whatever has to bring a court reporter. Makes sense.
Now he's panicking because.
City of Jacksonville, because they have, in the past, it's probably 20 years now, they used to get sued so much that they pay for a court report, for every land use and zoning hearing. Saying the girl's been doing it forever, she's good, but yeah.
And this was the, you did hand us the October's meeting.
It's the agenda.
Jen? We can come back to them if you want.
We have,
It's
we
right, right? Yeah.
we do have,
We
we
have
do
it.
have
We
the
have
October
the
meeting
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, it was right.
The first one I brought up?
Yes. I've been trying to get your attention.
Oh, I apologize.
Look at the
Don't
date on
apologize.
top.
I
Okay.
apologize.
Oh, you were good? It's formatted just like the agenda.
Yep, look at the date on
Okay.
top, let's do
Okay.
some discussion items.
All right, so I'll get them, did we get them all? Did I get you a copy?
I have them there.
I'll let Whitney know we're good. The
So
minutes are formatted according to the agenda, so it just looks like.
I actually have a question about the September 22 minutes. I went back and looked at them as I was preparing for this, and I noticed something that was included that I didn't hear. So I went back to the meeting on YouTube and I reviewed it and found that it wasn't said, and I think it's rather important. So
Okay.
I'm going to make a I don't know the Roberts rules, so I need you to guide me here.
Currently, we have a motion for the acceptance of October's minutes. We have a
Okay.
motion, we need a second.
Okay.
I believe the way it works, after the second, we can have a discussion, and then we can bring up September's
Okay,
then, if you don't
thank
mind.
No, I want to follow the order. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm still looking for a second. Anybody may second, I can't.
I made the motion.
You can't second.
I can't.
Second.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion and a second. Go ahead and have your discussion.
On October 15th,
No, you can discuss anything you want right now.
I can discuss September 22nd?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank
You
you.
just can't make a motion to change this current motion.
Correct.
Okay, y'all just guide me. I'm gonna trust you in this.
I'm not your guy to be guiding you, but, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, when we were talking about the benefit of the change of land use to the city, Janice what I heard from you was that, we currently had an empty building and this would fill an empty building. The minutes include the additional statement and employ new people, and that was not something that I heard you say, which is why I went back to the minutes and I didn't see that you had, included that in your response. I have the, times here if you wanna go through
Are you
them
referring to
and
the,
go through them.
the proposed,
Land
build
use
change
Yeah,
for the building?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there is later in the minutes, there is reference to he may pick up additional people here, but it wasn't something that you said. And I wanted to move, if this is the appropriate, language, that the wording and employ new people attributed to you, it didn't happen. I didn't hear it, and it wasn't on the,
Your motion now is on your October 15th minutes.
Correct.
If you
but
want to
I
make,
thought he
if-
just,
now
If
we
you
can
want to
have discussion,
uh-huh,
that's what we're doing, we're discussing.
okay,
Now, we can discuss all we would like,
okay,
we can approve October or not, that's
Okay,
fine, doesn't
okay.
matter. And I appreciate what you're doing, but I will go ahead and respond by saying, he is bringing bodies down,
but that, you
and
can't
at a future
attribute,
point, he may hire,
right?
and it doesn't matter to me who says.
Well, it
what.
does matter to me. I think it's very important,
I
especially
understand.
since this is on record.
Okay,
that,
so what we will do is, we can, if you feel that the September minutes are not up to date, and we accepted September minutes in
Right,
October,
Right,
you can go ahead and discuss it, and you can voice your opinion. I will call a vote to accept or reject. If we reject the minutes, then I believe we have another discussion on that one, and we can go ahead and go back over and make a motion to amend September minutes to
good.
reflect what you would
Good.
like.
Can we finish the 15th now, though? Is that something? we
you're
can-
voting on the 15th.
Right.
And the September
22nd.
22nd, those have been adopted, so then you'd have to, by Robert's Rules of Order, you accepted them as they are, so we would have to, they're not on the agenda to be discussed, because you've already voted for them. So you would have to bring it back, and I think there's a technicality, I think you have to have more than the normal, you have to vote to reconsider those.
Okay, well, I would
But
like to do just
but
that.
I would rather wait, to be honest with you, to get legal, because it is, I know that sounds bizarre, but when it comes to minutes of planning and zoning board and council, it's, when you reconsider motions, which are reconsidered, sometimes it's a simple majority, sometimes you have to have two.
So would it be acceptable to vote for the 15th of October? And then we will entertain a motion to recall, and that may not be the right word, but so just
Reconsider.
pigeonhole that, reconsider the September minutes for future discussion and vote. Would that be acceptable to the,
Yeah,
Could we put
finish
that on the
this motion.
agenda for next meeting?
We can
Rather
add,
than
we
saying
we can add
future.
anything onto the action items for the next
Right,
meeting.
right.
Let's do that.
And we
Could-
can consider it, but wanna make clear what we really need to do right now
Is the 15th.
is
Correct.
the 15th.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you've got a motion and a second,
Yes, we
and so
do.
now it's a vote to approve the
just October
minutes
15th
in
minutes?
place.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All who in favor of October 15th minutes, say aye.
Aye.
We have a unanimous vote. Now, because of discussion that has come to light, I will entertain a motion to reconsider September 22nd's meetings to amend.
Thank you.
And
Do I move?
You have to make
I so move.
When you get your second, I'll give you that one.
I will,
Get a
we
second.
need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second now?
I was just gonna say, I know that minutes are official, once you vote on them, which you did do.
Yes,
So we need to defer to legal counsel
yes,
to make sure you can do it after they've been approved.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I'm not sure, I
I
How,
don't,
I think the question would be how they are done after they're approved, because if the minutes are upon review don't reflect that which happened in the meeting, the fact that they've been voted on becomes moot because they're not, they don't reflect what was in the meeting.
Well, the minutes, the most important thing on any minutes is the action items. The discussion is really, some communities don't even put any discussion, or they just say, there was this lengthy discussion. So who said what, it's not verbatim, and that's why if you were to have a lawsuit, it would be up to the applicant to bring a court reporter to the hearing. So I'm not sure whether it matters if I said it, or somebody else said it, or there's implied. It's not, the thing is, the most important is of the recording of the minutes is the action items. But like I said, I would, you know, I would recommend Jamie talk to Rich to make, well, if there's any changes that can be made to minutes that have been approved and posted.
We understand what you're saying, out of deference to and respect to my, my
Yeah,
council, my board member here. I entertain the motion, we second it, and we will go ahead and proceed with the city's guidance on how to properly cure September's minutes.
And,
Yes.
and I ask that it be placed on next month's,
Right.
agenda.
Yes.
We'll put it on the January,
And
the
yeah, we'll put
January's
it on
next meeting.
January,
Thank you.
and either we'll tell you how it can be done or what can happen. That's
Right,
all I'm
thank
saying.
you.
Yes.
Is that acceptable, Doctor?
I think that's
That's fine.
what we need to do.
That's fine.
Thank you. And I appreciate the respect that was sent this way.
And I don't want you to disrespect, I'm just saying processing, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I was not,
Okay.
even, not for a moment, was I considering.
No, I just heard the edge in her voice when I said I really didn't care. So we have September that we are going to go ahead and talk through at a later point in time. I am going to ask that we pigeonhole further discussion on September for legal counsel and deference to legal counsel. And I don't believe I need a vote for that. Okay, so there, we have that done.
Chairman, just
Yes,
real
sir.
quick, two things. We just realized tonight that we didn't get the minutes. We have completed the minutes, draft minutes from the workshop in October, but we failed to throw them on the city council's agenda last time. So just so you all know, they are gonna go, we'll put them on the city council's agenda for the 5th of January. And they're a public document. We can, if anybody would like to see them or read through them, we've got them available. It's just, we haven't put them on the agenda for the city council. We didn't get it on the city council's agenda for the 17th.
Okay.
You're referencing the notes from,
The workshop.
This is the workshop that we had after
Right.
the
okay,
October 15th
right,
regular planning and zoning.
got it,
meeting. So,
good, thank you.
just saying that to know the minutes are coming. We just didn't get them into the city council's agenda for the last meeting. And then, though it doesn't show right here, I'm sorry, one thing, we did get Mr. Commando is listening in. He did send a note that minutes can be amended.
I thought so,
So-
good, thank you,
Okay.
thank you very
So
much.
we'll get it taken care of. And the last thing I said is, though we didn't title it as workshop, this will be the transition into the comprehensive planning workshop portion
Oh.
for discussion as we
Okay.
move out of minute approval.
Yeah, I thought we were going to, like the last time, adjourn and then reopen, but that's fine.
We can do them, we talked about this with Mr. Commando,
Uh-huh.
and you can convene a workshop as an agenda item.
We will do that.
That way, we don't have to have multiple meetings
I
and multiple
understand.
sets of minutes.
So that one falls under your 5 alpha, correct, planning and zoning meeting? No, that's the PDF, sorry.
That was the minutes,
That's your outlet.
that was the minutes from 15 October.
That's right, my mistake.
No problem.
I need to read further before I talk. Public engagement plan for comprehensive plan. So we are now going to proceed on over into number 6, am I correct?
That is correct, sir. And
Okay.
Ms. Janice Fleet, our city planner, will jump in and go through some presentation right now to talk. And I'll just lead in, and I said this in the city council meeting, but I didn't get a chance to say it in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Janice made us aware of hold on, let me see if I get this correct, a grant opportunity through Florida Commerce. They're called Planning and Technical Assistance Grants. She helped us draft, and I submitted at the end of July, early August, a request for $60,000 to help facilitate the cost of going through the comprehensive planning process. This will offset the bulk of Ms. Fleet's efforts in support of this, as acting as city staff, but also some of the city staff requirements, running meetings, this portion of the comprehensive planning workshop.
Okay.
It'll offset our costs. And so I just wanted to
So
thank
it's
the public.
offset city cost in wages and revenue?
Yes.
Understood. That's fine.
Is that the Chamber of Commerce?
No,
Is it
this is-
Florida? What is Florida Commerce?
Florida Commerce is effectively the state's Department of Commerce. They refer to themselves as Florida Commerce.
Okay,
So,
so it is a government
State
entity.
grant.
I was wondering about that.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
Okay, good.
so that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand off to Ms. Fleet. She'll take us through the rest of the agenda.
Thank you.
So I just wanna say the reason we changed tonight's meeting is between our last workshop and tonight, we found out about this grant, so staff meeting, and we also informed the council that we kinda need to do a step back a little bit in our process and our timeline. I'm gonna go over it so that we can meet the grant requirements. Even though, so next slide though. Okay, so, Dr. Robbins,
Forgive me.
that's okay. So, we have to do a comprehensive plan update, it's required by statute that we need to review do an evaluation and make recommendations, which we know. So we did the reorganization, which is complete. And we revised the schedule to meet the requirements of the $60,000 planning grant we received from the state. Florida Commerce, so the division, I think it's a division of community planning, has been bounced around since I've been a planner. It used to be, we used to have a Department of Community Affairs, DCA. Then they got rid of DCA maybe about 10 years ago and became a division of Department of Commerce. And Department of Commerce changed their name instead of like every other state agency to be the Department of whatever, to Florida Commerce, with no gap in the Florida. It's a capital F and a capital C, but no space in between. So don't even go there. But whatever, that is the official name based on the legislature. So because of that, and we, as Jamie said, we submitted it back in August, assuming we would hear sooner than we did hear. We had certain grant deliverables and due dates that were set up by the grant that we submitted. We have told the state that, Jamie sent a letter to the state saying that we want to accept it. They've got to go through their legalese. The council has agreed that once we get this legal document, the mayor can sign, Jamie can sign it, or the mayor, whoever they put to be signed, because it's pretty much a boilerplate, the contract itself, except for our scope of work and deliverables are related to Keystone Heights and what we're gonna do. So because of the grant deliverables and the due dates, we're kind of stepping back a little bit. We're still on track, but we have to add some things that we originally weren't planning on doing.
May I just restate what you and I were saying before the meeting began, that when there's an expected change, if we on the board can be notified as early as possible, it helps us to prepare, and we don't spend our time preparing for something we're expecting that's not gonna either come to us or happen during our meeting, okay?
Okay.
So I just would like for that to be on record. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, next slide. So, our deliverable number one, there's 3 deliverables in our grant, in our scope of work that was proposed. And based on my experience with these community planning grants, they basically will take the grant we submitted, which we've got a copy, and it's attached to the grant agreement that the city will sign. The only difference is probably we're gonna either combine, and we definitely have to change the deliverable dates, because the first deliverable 1, was due November 30th. Obviously, we're not meeting that date because we don't have a contract. But that's nothing weird, I've worked in these, this is the latest I've ever known them. Usually we know by about October. But a lot of times you end up combining deliverables or doing other things they don't really care what happens along the way. They just need to make sure you get done at the end of their day, because this is an annually state-funded grant. We put in we'd be done by May, but it has to be done by June 30th, because that's the last date of the state's fiscal year. So the first thing, which we've been doing, and we have been told that we can back charge our time, staff time, to stuff that we've done, is we need to review and assess the goals, objectives, and policy of the comprehensive plan, which is what we've kind of been doing anyways. So those are the elements that you're probably getting tired of me listing, but the elements that actually water supply facilities plan is not an element. It should be, it's under the community facilities. But anyways, that's the land use, traffic circulation, housing, community facilities, conservation, recreation and open space, intergovernmental coordination, capital improvements, and public school facilities. We will add a property rights, hopefully. They won't argue with us, and you are, because you're not a coastal community, you do not have to have a coastal management.
Yeah, that was one of the things I requested, we just carry over the old plan verbatim.
Well, that's what we might end up doing, so because of Senate bill, and because I'm hearing from some of my planner friends, horror stories. The director of planning for Clay County had a lunch, I guess, to get together. Jamie and I both were at last week. Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, it was last week. Orange Park's plan got thrown out because they made some changes, and it was really some minor stuff talking to the planner there. So it's kind of changed what we might want to do. We might keep a list of what we would like to do, but until Senate Bill 180 is significantly changed, they are rejecting changes. They're saying, which I think I'll go over it.
I was gonna say, just a quick refresher for everybody. I believe
Senate Bill 180 was passed by the last legislative session in the guise of hurricane preparedness to redevelop it after a hurricane. The idea was, let's say, for instance, you had a house that was in a floodplain. I'm gonna give an example, and it got knocked down, and between August of 2004, which is when the hurricane hit, and now the city decided to require that now if you build a floodplain, you need to be 2 feet above instead of 1 foot, like the house maybe was built. So because of that, the legislature passed an act on the last day of the legislature that basically you cannot amend, make more onerous your comprehensive plan, your land development regulations in any county in the state that was affected by the storms in August 2004, which was every county in the state. So the way that the Florida Commerce, their division of community planning, is looking at it, that if you amend anything in your comp plan that makes it more, in their words, more restrictive, they're gonna find the plan null and void.
More restrictive to whom?
The previous plan.
More
Yes,
restrictive to-
plan.
And that's the question, what is more restrictive?
Right.
Like, for instance, my understanding is like, because Rich has mentioned in St. Johns County, which also got theirs thrown out, they had initially they went from you may have a 25-foot buffer from wetlands to you shall, and that was like, no, that's more restrictive. So and that's the problem, is who is making the determination of what is more restrictive. But we are hearing horror stories from all my planners throughout the state that any change is considered more restrictive. And so it's really, we as a planning organization statewide, the Florida Chapter of American Planning Association, I happen to sit on the Legislative Policy Committee. I was at a Zoom meeting last week, and our lobbyist said that even the bills that are coming out to fix it aren't gonna be much better. So, and the problem is, we won't know what that fix is until the legislative session is over, and we can't wait to that.
No, we can't, we have to have our stuff
So-
due at a reasonable time frame
Right.
on or around 1st of April.
Right, so
Or
anyway,
June 30, right?
well,
June 30.
but in order to go through all the approvals, we really need to be done by April.
So this question that I have may not, I need to understand why we're not willing to make changes that we think are important while we're not willing to have the comprehensive plan returned to us, while we're not willing to put whomever the reviewers are in a place where they have to tell us that our suggestions, our proposed changes are not acceptable. Because what I'm hearing is, and I could be hearing wrong, so I need you guys to help me here. What I'm hearing is that we need to, and I'm using an exaggerated phrase, we need to rubber stamp our previous comprehensive plan, because if we make any changes, it will be thrown back to us. Does that matter?
Well, let me try.
Well, what I was gonna say is, we don't have to rubber stamp it, we just have to be very cognizant of any changes we
Just say over
make.
my dead body.
Right, yeah, so I'm not saying, we have to go through them, and we'll have to make some recommendations. There might things that we wanna change, and there might be reasons, but we just need to be very cognizant of any changes that we make. So but be aware
Yeah.
that both myself and your legal staff is gonna be very cognizant of that when we're giving you
But the
recommendations.
language we use for the changes we make cannot be more restrictive than the previous plan that we have. I submitted to the city and to yourself language that I thought was rather comprehensive and not violation of the proposed amendment. So hopefully it'll work, hopefully it won't, we'll see.
Well, and we're gonna go back
Yes,
from
that's,
the time
I
that
understand we're
I,
doing a segue right now into
Right.
something else.
what we did when we started, and I don't want anybody to feel they wasted work or their time, but unfortunately, what has transpired in the last month or two is nothing that any of us in the planning world would have anticipated. We knew that Senate Bill 180 was not a good was not good legislation. We did not know that Florida Commerce was gonna be holding us with such an iron fist. You know,
I had a discussion with Mr. Commando and I had an idea.
yeah, so anyways, but that, we will keep a list going. There might be some where we wanna change, we might decide we're gonna do, because remember I told you, we can amend our comp plan after the day after we adopt it. So if we have a list of what we wanna do, and we think it's more restrictive, but we wanna do it in the future, we'll have that to easily change in the future when hopefully things get back to normal. But, you know, but I just wanted to be aware of it.
Understood?
But what is normal right now, I don't know if it's state statute, but it is law, because it was passed by the
Yes,
legislature.
it is what statute.
It
yeah.
is statute, is, it can't be more restrictive than
But
the
there's no
previous.
definition of what more restrictive is.
But they are being extremely generous, is a nice way of saying, of what is more restrictive. What you or I might not think is more restrictive from plans that have been thrown back, you know,
Well,
they're saying
we
they're
will
more
defer
restrictive. There's
to-
lawsuits from communities, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening, but we're moving along to see what we can, to do the best we can. If nothing else, we review it, we know what we wanna do, maybe we don't do it this time, but we do it the next time.
As we progress this time, we'll defer to your knowledge base
Yeah.
that you are currently accumulating even as we speak.
Exactly. So anyways, so we have at this point in time, we've received comments both from the council and planning and zoning board members, and we're gonna be going through those, but it's not gonna be by tomorrow or the next month, because we're going through them very judiciously to make sure how they are gonna be affected by Senate Bill 180. So know that your work has not been in vain, that your time has been spent, but it might take a while before you see the results. So if we imagine, if you thought that by today we were gonna have all that, I'm sorry for that misrepresentation. And you will see in our schedule where we're gonna be looking at that. Okay, next slide. So, one of the things that led us the grant, is the best way of saying it, is we really pushed, and we have this cover letter that we sent in with Jamie's request, is what were things that made us special. Understand they only give out 20 statewide these grants, and there are over 500 municipalities that could have applied for it. So, not that many, excuse me.
415
Yeah, it was
or
400,
something.
but it was limited, 415. They were looking for ones that are rural. We have been lucky enough to be designated as rural in a urban county. Nobody else in Clay County could have applied for it none of the other municipalities, but we are in a special category, very deep in Florida Commerce's technical website that we found that we are considered rural. I mean, Jamie's using it for some other grant.
Every grant.
Yeah. But it literally, we're unique, because usually it's, you have all these other requirements. Everybody else, because of Place County's growth size and everything else, they don't count, but we get it. So we got that benefit. So we got that. So the things that we promoted, and this is where it's revisions to promote resiliency and sustainability, which that's where we're gonna have to worry about Senate Bill 180, because of the implementation of Black Creek Project. That was one of the things that I said was unique that made us different, as well as the strategic plan. And I know you've been, Dr. Zeezer's been looking at the strategic plan, comp plan. So the visions and mission and goals of the strategic plan and the revisions to the community development.
I used the strategic plan to the max that I could.
Right, I know you looked at
In the rough draft.
Right. So anyway, so and that might be a way we can get around some stuff, I'm not sure, but those are the things we told them that, and it's the same group, the same division that are giving us a grant that's also gonna be reviewing, might be different staff, reviewing our comp plan, so we'll see, but we'll have those discussions as we move forward. Next slide. The other thing, and this is really important, I know you all have spent a lot of time, some of you know, looking at the goals, objective policies, but one of the things that we really need to spend time on, because it is a part of the grant deliverable, is to review and revise our future land use map, that's this in front of you, as well as the categories, which is policy LU 1.41, which is the description, the density and residential category, and the intensity. So if I give you a homework assignment between now and the next meeting, I really would like you to take that map, I think you all got copies of it, ride around, see if there's weird boundaries that don't make sense, or you know, read the descriptions if they need to change. We don't need to make any recommendations, we can discuss it in the next meeting, but I really need you to think, and if you're fine with it the way it is, that's fine too. We don't have to change this to change, but I just wanna make you feel comfortable with this map. Cause this is, you know, I will say that if there's been lawsuits within the state of Florida for comprehensive plans since the original act was passed in '85, it's 95% of them probably relates to future land use map and future land use map categories.
So do you want us to also review the densities?
Look at that
to
policy yes, look at policy,
DU for
yes.
acres, et cetera?
Yes.
Alright.
Your comp plan only has one residential category, do you wanna have, if you wanna promote higher density, do you wanna add a higher intensity, a higher density
I
to
would go
allow
out there and
apartments
say,
and
I
things
really
like
don't.
that? I'm not saying you can't, I'm just throwing this out, I'm just saying, if you wanna split it, right now you have one category, so that's what it is. And that's really the one, where you have the commercial, where you've got the industrial, and your density of residential, those are the main things. We've got some things we gotta worry about where institutional are, there's been some churches and other public facilities that aren't there anymore, we need to give them a designation, because really, the institutional land use needs to be public or church, as well as, so those, we can work, we have to come up with a category for them, but those are the, you know, the recreation is obviously where there's recreation, so, and the mixed use is another, we need to look at that mixed use category. So-
What are you looking for the mixed use breaking up into?
Well, first of all, I think this is that mixed use is very restrictive. I like mixed use. I'm very positive in mixed use. But to say that in your block it has to be, I think it's 50%
Yeah.
residential and 50% commercial.
I'm not a fan, because I think it's too ambiguous. I'm not
Exactly.
But
So,
it-
yeah.
And I think I mentioned this at our workshop, when you're talking about this is something that we could actually make less restrictive that makes sense, is the current language indicates that you can't continue to develop further commercially until you meet a 50-50
split.
mix, residential and commercial. And in the workshop I mentioned, I don't necessarily know if we can point at any indicators over the last decade where someone has actually put residential in these mixed use areas.
And I'm not saying that that's a right, so usually mixed use would be like that yellow area that's actually zone industrial. Up in the corner, up in
How about giving us like a reference to a clock? Am I looking at
Well,
1 o'clock? Am I looking?
okay, this area here,
I don't think I can't even see
Oh,
your
you can't see my
corner.
corner.
It's reflecting off the
The
TV.
purple
Okay.
area is mixed use.
yeah, so if you take on the, northeast corner there, oh, I'll get it.
That's okay. This area right here, not the dark blue.
No, go north, the yellow, like for instance, the
Yes.
big yellow up
Foxtrot
there.
area.
This is
So
what
what-
we're talking here, but our current mixed use is this part.
Yeah, usually mixed use is in larger areas that you wanna have a mix of, residential and commercial in a planned development. Yours is in the downtown area.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say that you can't have commercial with allowing residential, but the requirement of it is where, that I see that as a problem, which is hurting development, not promoting development.
So a question that I had was, using the experience of the gentleman who was proposing a change from commercial to industrial,
Light industrial.
and we always have the opportunity to be presented with a proposal for something other than that which is in perhaps the comprehensive plan, I would expect. So why not keep that in, those parts in the comprehensive plan? And if someone wants to propose something other than the 50/50 or whatever's in there, they can come to us and
They
say,
can't, if the comprehensive plan is a text amendment, you cannot, what is the text of the comprehensive plan? You can only change it through a text amendment change, and that has to go through Tallahassee to be approved. You
So-
can't, like, because we had somebody that was looking at that, and we actually worked on a text amendment change, they didn't end up submitting it. But it's not, and even in your code, just because somebody comes to you and says, I wanna do something, and we all love it, unless it's allowed, you can't just give it to them. So for instance, because you have in this requirement that you cannot, and it's very specific, that those buildings are developed, those blocks are developed, but they can stay, but any expansion needs to have that 50/50. Usually, like I said, you can have a commercial downtown, which we might come up with, like commercial downtown. Commercial downtown allows commercial and residential in the buildings, but doesn't require one or the other. It just allows both those uses. Mixed use normally is in a larger area that you do a clean development that you want, like Fleming Island, where when they developed it, they did some commercial and they did some residential in various densities. So that's just, just because you love a development, like we might have loved, and I can't think of the name of the business that was thinking of expanding, Atlantic.
Logistics.
Even though we all thought it was a great expansion, he can't do it because it's not in, unless we amend the comp plans, it's not consistent with the comprehensive plan.
thank you.
So, yeah. All right. So anyways, I really need you guys to look at this map and that one policy and, just think about it. Look, just think about it. We can discuss it at our next meeting, but that's something to think
I
about.
was not here, could I get a map, please?
We will.
Yes, sir.
We'll get you
Just
map.
make sure you have it'll be in your email.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
sure,
I think
so
we
we
ran
can-
11 by, do you have some of those 11 by 17?
Sure I do. Some
Yeah,
of
no, I'll
them
get
mess
you
that in my
some.
office right
Yeah.
now. Yes.
Well, I ran some 11 by 17s in the maps, so yeah.
Oh, those are nicer than I just did.
Anyways, all right, so next slide. Okay, so the biggest difference with this grant is that and this is the thing that we're kind of had to take a little bit of a pause, is that we need to prepare a comprehensive plan engagement plan. I know that's what they love, Tallahassee, that's what helps us help get the grant. But it's promoted the business and resident involvement in the comprehensive plan update. We see we have a lot of people involved in the
He counts.
comprehensive plan. We appreciate you coming, and
Just
this is
come on
not.
up, sign your name, and we'll take
Right,
it.
and this is not unique, and that's why they really like engagement. So, in big city or the county, they might have had they had meetings all over the county, they had all kinds of stuff. But I've always felt in small towns, everybody there's a different network that can happen because people knows each other. So one of the ways, and these are methods that were mentioned in our scope of work, was the city's website, and I know Jamie's been working on how we can, and Bo, how we can use the website to promote some more engagement. We're talking about notices and surveys to businesses, and then speaking at business and community events and meetings. And so one of the things that we need to do, and this is kind of when we get to discussion, or we can stop now because we can deal with it. What are some of the groups that you feel we should be reaching out to? To get them involved, and it might be various yourselves or council members going out and speaking to these groups, but what are the existing groups within the city that we would like to engage? We might not be able to get them to come to a meeting, but at least if we can tell them about the comprehensive plan update, tell them about what's on the city's website where they can put some comments in, at least we are fulfilling our requirements. But it's also good planning to be able to get people excited about things that are happening within the city.
I think an obvious response is those who are not in this room tonight. We're not reaching a large number of our population, so where do we seek? Part of my thinking is our churches, of course. We have lots of churches, and we have lots of people who attend those churches. And then we have our
We have a YouTube channel that's currently airing.
thank you. We have the organizations that folks are, the gentleman that came and talked about the flags, putting the flags
Kiwanis.
up. Yeah, what do we call those organizations?
Kiwanis.
Community support.
Civic service.
Civic, there we
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
thank you, civic
But
organizations.
they're Kiwanis, and then you also have the Rotary Club.
Are those the only two in the city? I'm not the only person with ideas, and my ideas are pretty limited here.
We also have, in fact, I know the city has met with them, City and Commerce, where they all got together down there for coffee. The local,
Lake Region Prosperity Partners.
and the local business owners attended. I think we had like 50-some people there for that.
Typically, it's pretty well attended. So that's the Lake Region Prosperity Partners is the Keystone Heights area subordinate element of the Clay County Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, good.
And then there's KLRBA, Keystone Lake Region Business Association as well.
Mhm.
There's
And then
another.
also the Save Our Lakes group we talked about.
Yep, solo, thank you.
They like going solo.
Anybody else, any other thoughts you have? Ms. Mullins, you're a business owner.
No, I think all the suggestions that get brought forward are good ones.
Well, if anybody thinks of anything else, shoot Jamie an email, a text or whatever, to let us know what other groups that, you come in, you think would be good. Neighborhood groups, you don't have HOAs per se, but, there may be some neighborhood groups. Okay.
And Dr. Robbins, I acknowledge the unreached citizenry is probably one of the biggest challenges of any municipality to try and reach, but we'll keep scratching our heads on how to get that individual citizen feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, next slide. So those are the elements that are required for deliverable 1, which was supposed to be done by November 30th. Obviously, we're in a grant agreement, so.
It's the first I heard of it, so I'm sorry, we're gonna have to get an extension.
Right, exactly.
I already failed you, we just began.
Right, well, and now we'll combine these deliverables. Like I said, my experience of working on these grants, we will do it. Okay, so the next deliverable, and I think in there was April 15th or something, it's prepare the draft. In the underline and strikeout version of our draft comprehensive plan. That's when we'll take your comments and look at it. So that'll be done in the second deliverable. We've got the comments, and we just need to get it involved.
May I request the opportunity to revisit my comments in
Sure.
light of the discussion that we had this evening? Thank you very much.
Yes, please, yes. So I'm almost sure that I think.
So you're saying for deliverable 2, that is the
Right,
draft that we started upon and that we've now put off to the side for a little bit so we can cover our grant.
right.
Thanks.
And that will be done, that needs to be done by April 15th. So that gives us some time.
We're working
But
on it.
what would probably is, what I would like to do sometime in March, we'll have something that you and count feel comfortable, have a joint workshop where everybody make sure we kind of feel comfortable with it, you know. I mean, as I think I mentioned from our first meeting, until that final adoption hearing, which we can make changes to any of the policy, goals, objectives, and policy, because it's done as an attachment to the ordinance. Okay, so then and then the last, the level 3, and there's other things that we told them we do in the grant. I'm gonna get your maps on a GIS format so that it's easily changed and we can print them and things like that. We can put them on the website better. Those are things staff is working on and will work on during this time between now and April 15th.
Thank you.
Then we will have the number 3 is these community meetings and public workshops where we'll go and tell people about the comprehensive plan, and there'll be some official meeting, and then from that we'll come up with the final draft if anybody has any comments. The other thing that we're going to be doing is part of we know there's inconsistencies between our land development regulations, our zoning code is basically that, and our comp plan is coming up with a list. So then next year, you will be able to we can make those changes, i.e. for
Can we
instance.
just stick that in chapter, was it 17 or 19?
Yeah, chapter 19 is your land development regulations.
Yeah, can we just
Yeah.
stick it there?
Huh?
Cannot we just stick whatever our discrepancies are in there?
Well, no, we're gonna have to, if we notice there's inconsistencies between the comp plan and the land development, we're gonna have to make ordinance changes to land development regulations.
That's the direction I would like to go.
Yeah, yeah.
To keep
So-
things as much in-house as possible.
Yes, for sure we would do that, but for instance, like, I noticed when I was reviewing the 200 Northeast Commercial Circle project, that yellow area on the comp plan is industrial in the zoning.
Yes, it is.
And so what you're supposed to have done is, after you do your comprehensive plan like we adopted, then within a year, you're supposed to update your land development regulations and zoning map. So because it'll be easier, we have this list, we'll say, okay, these are the things we need to change, and so the next year we'll actually do the ordinances to change those, which we aren't having to go to the state on for local. And then the last part would be, then as I said, in the grant that was submitted, our application, we said we'd be done by May 29th, 2025. I know that does not mean you have to adopt your comprehensive plan.
2026.
2026, you're right, there's a typo, I'm sorry.
That's okay, there's been a few of them today.
Right. Anyways, 26, so, so we're gonna have to try to hit that date or pretty close to it for the information grant requirements, because in order for us to get our money from the state, and we get it in pieces, not like we have to wait to the end, it all has to be charged by June 30th, because that's the end of the state's fiscal year. So, that's the date. I always do it a little bit early because you have closeout things, but I've worked with them enough. I know that we'll be close, but you can't go past that June 30th date. You don't get, whatever you don't spend by June 30th, you won't get the money back. So, we will make sure we meet those deadlines. Next slide. And that's really, the next slide you can. Hello,
Yes,
Dave.
we'll
Wait.
see.
Okay, I think
The
the last.
jester has left the court.
Yeah, that's not, well, that's my next slide, just any questions or discussions, so, which we passed. So, anyways, that's really it. I just wanted to update you where we're at, get your input on the community, and then, like I said, for you to really, because one of our requirements is our land use map categories to make sure.
Alright, so we gotta do the flume from what I understand. So
Yeah.
today was a corrective action item set forth because of the grant that was suddenly sprung upon us all, which is fine. I'm very happy, and I greatly appreciate all the work everyone put into for.
Nobody minds getting money
How
to do
dare the
work.
state give us $60,000?
Yeah, I'd rather than
Yeah.
flog them mercilessly.
So anyways, and our next meeting will be in January, right?
I'll get ready to cover that here.
Alright.
I do have the list. So, shall we pull out our
Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, I want to point out something on here.
Yes, sir.
So, we try to use, so this is the 2026 calendar, city council approved at the last meeting.
Correct.
Though,
I recognize it.
yeah, we pointed out to the city council, hey, some of these, we need to talk with the individual boards or commissions. And y'all in particular in January and February had conflicts where City Hall is closed on the day of your regularly occurring meeting. So the heuristic, the rule of thumb we use for planning and zoning meetings is the third Monday of the month. Third Monday of the month would be the 19th, and that's on January's Martin Luther King.
Yes.
And so I noted a planning and zoning conflict and then just put planning and zoning board meeting kind of in red. A way we could do it is just hold it the next day on the 20th following the Heritage Commission meeting. They're pretty efficient in getting their business done. I'm confident that we wouldn't have to delay starting at 7 o'clock if the planning and zoning board would like to do it that way or another date that you may want to meet in that time frame.
So I recognize what you did. I am picking up my children at the airport that day, though I do have it off. It is still a 5:30 arrival. I either will miss or be late on that day.
On the 20th, you're saying?
Yes. So if we decide as a group to continue with that date, I will most likely not be able to attend. If Mr. Hart doesn't show up, we will not have a quorum, I don't believe. I don't think 3 is a quorum. Is that a fair assumption?
I believe you would, with 5, when you have 3 here, you have quorum.
We wanna go to the 21st,
Okay.
or the, I guess we get the 21st.
I think it's really up to the.
Alright,
Correct.
the 21st, 22nd work better that week?
Yes, I mean,
I think it's really important that you should be here.
I agree.
okay, if that's the way you all feel, then,
Leave the kids at the airport.
yeah, no, I miss them dearly, and I need to string them up once or twice a year just because that's what dads do. All right, so
I
for
didn't
your,
mean that to be, no, you're fine.
So we can go with the 21st or 22nd.
I'm okay. Does anybody have a preference? If you guys can pull out your calendars for which other day that week?
January 26th, 2026.
Yes.
I don't
All right. Mr. Gay? Dr. Robbins, do you have anything that week that? Okay, so why don't we just go one more day, make it the 21st?
At 6 p.m.?
Yes, that's fine. 6 p.m. is fine.
Is this gonna be another workshop for
It-
us?
It will be, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. I think that these are quite productive this time. It's very productive, well spent.
Right now, and of course, it's November, but we're not envisioning right now any known action items for January other than continuing this
Reviewing the
process.
land use map and discussing.
So when we look at the land use map, you want us to send you our ideas?
I think we can just discuss it, I think that works out better.
What should we be looking for? You suggested that we drive around and look at what,
If you, if you look, Bo, can you go back to the map? Okay, so you see the mixed use is that grayish. Look at that and then think about you wanna look at the map and then read that policy and see if that makes sense, or we should redo it somehow.
when you say policy,
That's the LU
1.1.4.1?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
It describes, it describes all these categories.
okay, got it.
Okay, so we might, and I'm just thinking out loud here, I'm thinking that maybe that area, the downtown area, maybe needs to be commercial downtown, where we allow residential in there, but we don't force it, is the best way of saying.
See, I was just thinking of just changing the numbers from 50-50 to 80-20, but that's, if
But-
your idea is a better
Yeah,
language for the
right,
state, then
right.
obviously we'll go a
Yeah.
different route.
And then the other colors, do they make sense, or should they be something different? And the main one, so that area, should those blocks be mixed use or commercial downtown, we call it that, or should we add or subtract a block? And then, is it residential, or should that area that I said, that big area that,
Gentlemen, just real quick, I always want to correct you, just make sure that we only have one conversation going on. I think it's all going to pick up on the mic. We just don't want anybody interpreting sidebar conversations around that,
So this area here, this yellow, that's residential on your comp plan, but it's industrial, so I guess at some point, the industrial, should that be, what should that be? Should that be a mixed use, but we call it something different? Maybe we do the 70-30, but it should be with new development. So, which is usually how you it's a combination. Usually your commercial downtown or CRA area, or whatever you wanna call it, allows a mix of uses to promote redevelopment, and your larger mixed-use areas allow for a mix of residential and.
Well, I believe that single spit of yellow that bumps into 21 is where the Zaxby's currently is.
Yeah.
It's probably close, but it's.
It's the property just to the north of it.
Yeah.
So just to the north?
Yeah. So anyways, and then the area that's institutional, you got institutional schools to institutional, conservation is conservation, but the light industrial and commercial, do those make sense? And we can create a new category if we want something that's a combination of light industrial and commercial, based on the conversation we had in our last meeting. We can create something different, and we just have to we can do a new color and just create, no, that's true. We can do a new color and then that description in LU 141 would be different. So that's really what your homework assignment is, and we can discuss it at the next meeting.
Janice, can you potentially maybe just send me definitions, typical definitions for things like commercial downtown?
Okay.
Similar to like what we have a definition for
Yeah.
light industrial.
Right.
And if there's a couple, I think you may have mentioned the others, and what I can do is either I can disseminate it
Right,
to
okay.
the board and the council, probably my weekly updates.
I know Green Coast Springs has one. And their mixed use, Penny Farms is a mixed use at 70-30, so I'll send you some.
Okay.
Okay. Cause they have kind of the same commercial downtown there in Walnut Street area, so let me see what they got. Okay?
To reiterate, your South Lawrence Boulevard, that is in our grayish blue spot. We're thinking about a name change to commercial downtown by, say, number split. That's fair enough. I just wanted to reiterate for my own.
And
trying to
mixed
solidify
use,
it in my own head.
potential consider instead of mixed
Yes.
use, a commercial downtown.
Yeah.
Yes. I just
And
wanted
you
to
see
solidify
where
it.
the industrial, there's one little part of industrial over there off of West
Yes.
Walker Drive, that's blue. Yeah,
Yep, it's also Fox Run there, you got some industrial up there.
right. And we might call it something different or change it, but that's really what you gotta do, give yourself some ideas, if these make sense. You got light industrial and industrial.
A part of this, not this plume itself, but part of our comp plan, does that include the properties that we own out at the airport?
Nope. Comprehensive plan is just what's in the city limits.
I-
Yeah, no, that's by statute.
That's typically where the city puts its industry.
Any other questions?
What does the red hash line indicate?
That is those are city limits.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's city
I
limits.
thought so.
Yep, yes, sir.
Yeah.
This triangle here is Wiggins property, we're putting houses there. As far as I know, this is all wooded up here.
Since we're workshop, I think this is a great question. We mentioned, we only have known 2 potential development areas in the city, the Paradise Sunrise Boulevard area, and
It's all
then
up in the upper
what
left.
we've often, so that's off in the the northwest is the one I just mentioned, but also if you look at the northeast, that other big area of heavy yellow is also a potential, development area. And I think that's why one of the few left in the city where it's undeveloped heavily. And so I think Janice was mentioning this is an area where you might want to consider a mixed use or a commercial downtown, or would it be the mixed
No, I
use?
would say these would be mixed use. Now, this is, you have a PUD.
Yeah, with PUD in the first one I mentioned, that's already
But yeah, this is
designated.
where a mixed use would be.
So the northeast one could be an area to consider for mixed use.
There has been a homeless camp there as of recent.
Yeah, we had that, some discussion in the
It was
council.
recently cleared out by the sheriff's office, but yeah, so that's the area we're talking about, or north of there.
Well, currently, as what was used to disprove the former True Value building is the lack of a buffer. And when you look up at Fox Run Road, there isn't much of a buffer between that light industry and the residential. So that is definitely something we'll have to look at together, based off of recent past performance. We can go ahead and plan forward for proper planning.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, the 3 rectangular portions just above, on the right hand, upper right, above the yellow rectangle, I think the Wiggins Group owns that.
2 of the 3.
Yeah, we had a,
Well, as of October.
I know they had a discussion with the city for those. Which
Mr.
of course
Wiggins
I'm looking
is
forward
pretty
to.
good when there's decision to be made, he shows up.
No, I'm just
So he'll
stating,
give us an-
I am not trying to impugn him
No, I
at
know
all.
that.
I'm just saying that there was discussions about that area to keep that fresh into the, my fellow board, if they were here, if they were part of that discussion, they could try to remember it. What else is up there, I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head, which is fine.
That, I think that triangle area there is likely where the laundromat is. Well, that's actually further behind. I take that back, I'm not sure. The areas that are labeled commercial, in that small triangle up there, I'd have to go out and look and see what.
Yeah, I have no idea what's there. I'm gonna have to take a drive myself.
Yeah.
I think that's generally, that's probably back behind the Hardee's area, maybe? I don't know, I have to go out and look.
I think it is back behind the Hardee's.
Okay.
I think that was rezoned at one point from my knowledge, because somebody wanted to develop that commercially. This was years ago when I was a kid, it's just what I remember.
Mhm.
So I think that is that sort of that sinkhole looking area that's behind Hardee's.
Okay.
Right. That's all I have.
So for today, this is about it. We weren't gonna be doing a workshop, is that?
Well, it's just open discussion as we move forward, generally using this information to drive some of the discussion that we've had about talking about the future land use map, or any other areas that y'all wanted to bring up based on reviewing the comprehensive plan, so.
I have a few things I'd like to bring up, and if this is the time to discuss, let's do it,
Yes,
because we have a
ma'am.
few minutes.
Before the chair closes us out, it's the right time.
Thank you. Roles and responsibilities within the comprehensive plan update and revision. What is the exact role of the board? And if you'll, whomever.
Basically, you provide input and then we become the voice and we're actually doing the writing.
Who are we?
Staff.
City staff.
You are not responsible for writing the comprehensive plan update.
But.
Yeah, I made that mistake.
Yeah.
Our inputs are it folded in.
Right, and if there's some reason that we cannot include your input, we will let you know what the reason is. And
So then perhaps if there is an idea that one doesn't want to get lost, some negotiation as to what might better fit. Okay, good. And then, so that's my board deliverable expectation, thank you. The rules of engagement, like who reports to whom and how, we're staff, we're a board, I need some help with that
So
understanding.
we are staff. You are, the planning and zoning board has been, you are appointed by the council, you are advisory to the council. The concept is, in the world of planning and zoning, that you get to, because it's planning and zoning, there's a lot of issues, so you can spend more time, this is the conceptual idea, that you can spend more time, this board, than the council board on planning and zoning board issues. They have a lot of other stuff they have to deal with. And then, but all you are, you're advisory, and you are what we call the the LPA, the local planning agency designated by the council, which is required by statute for you to have a public hearing to make a recommendation to the council on the comprehensive plan. So that's what your role is. You are the advisory. Staff is we do the nuts and bolts. We write it based on your input. We do the actual writing of the plan. We present it to you. We will tell you what changes, highlights are based on recommendations comments that we have received from you as the board members. Then you will, at the point in April sometime, you'll make an official recommendation to you'll have a public hearing, and you'll make the official recommendation to the council on recommendation. In the meantime, we'll have some probably workshops going back and forth, where 3 of y'all agree with one wording and 1 doesn't, and 3, and so it's majority rules. I mean, if that happens.
Pay me $5, I'll do anything.
Right, but usually it doesn't get to that much. But I'm saying, every once in a while, there could be some times where you have to take a vote on a special thing, but I don't think we're gonna be there.
So now I'm gonna get off of the comprehensive plan and talk about that engagement plan. Is there a draft or do we have another community that has an engagement plan that might?
Yeah.
So are we starting absolutely from scratch?
Well, I mean, I think I came up with a draft and what I submitted to the state, that'll be our engagement plan. It's not like we have to it's not like the comprehensive plan that has rules. We just are saying, this is what we're gonna do to engage people.
Okay.
It's not like the comprehensive plan that has specific statutory requirements.
And so based on the feedback that y'all gave us on bringing up churches or Kiwanis, Rotary, etc., you can go back in and just modify the draft that Janice had made and bring it back to y'all in the joint workshop in January, make sure it meets the needs, and we can begin to execute that. And I kind of see the city, I apologize, yes ma'am.
I was thinking as we were talking about that, the schools, somehow we need to engage the schools and the parents. And I think PTAs are often people who are already engaged, so we need to think about how to engage those who don't normally engage. So I'm not saying ignore the Parent-Teacher Association, I'm saying that and some other. This sounds like fun to me.
Are you volunteering to join and jump in and go talk to somebody?
It does not sound like fun to me at all. But I will say,
the Friends of
welcome to
Keystone,
Keystone Heights
isn't
Think
that
Tank.
good?
That's exactly what we are.
I
That's
love
good.
it.
We're the
That's a
think
good group.
tank.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to sum it up and not to, but yes, we are the think tank for the city on all things to the future. And I believe it is written down that we are required to at least look at our plan every 7 years. Well, the city.
The comprehensive plan?
That's statutory.
Yeah.
Every 7 years. Now, the city can say we like it and move on, which is what they did in 2018. Well, we can't do that forever. Congratulations, welcome on board. Do you have anything for us?
No, I was just going to follow up the thought on some of these. I already regularly attend these evening meetings on some of these groups that were brought up, and it's easy for me just to go ahead and make comments and ask for attendance at whatever the dates we establish. Though if any of the board members wish to kind of be the voice of the city at some of these events we build together, I think that certainly would be appropriate, and I would love it. Because sometimes my kids like see me around the house in the evenings, and other than these meetings. And
I understand.
I have notes on my, no, I actually covered everything, so.
All right.
Do you guys have anything? I don't want to, you guys are really quiet, and I don't want to think that we are neglecting you. We as in me, and I have a mouse in my pocket. You good? You good? Did you cover everything which you were?
Thank you.
Yes, no, that sounded rude, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you
My
guys had it
heavens.
covered up. Okay, great. Did you guys cover?
We've covered all the action items not action items, but issues that we need to take down. I've got some due outs on getting some more information out to you all on what a downtown definition might be, working on the draft engagement plan. Let's see. I think we took care of Mr. Gay's request for the map. Everybody now has a copy.
Yeah.
Bigger version that all of us can actually read through and see. And
Does our lone member at large have anything they would like to add?
No, I don't think so.
It's okay, I understand, and I am going off script,
Yeah.
but you were very, very patient and attentive. And I thought maybe instead of waiting 2 months, if you have something on your head you really wanted to get
No,
out.
I'll be back. I'm a property owner. I was gonna introduce myself to Janice and just talk about the mixed use and make sure as we move forward, I'll have some input.
No, you have to forgive me, I know we met, but that's as far as.
Mike Bell.
As far as this memory goes. Does the deputy, city manager have anything to point out? Are you good, boss? Alrighty, so without any further ado, the chair will hold a motion to adjourn. I guess we'll sit here till midnight.
Second.
You have a motion to adjourn, the city will take a second.
Second.
Somebody must.
She seconded.
So who did the motion?
You did.
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, chair will chair entertains a motion, but he can't make a motion,
Correct.
so you
I
know,
said.
just so moved would
I
be.
will make a motion. to
He makes the
adjourn.
motion, yeah.
I'll second. There.
Alright, we have a motion and a second. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.